Hi, welcome to Hannah's Knit Cottage. My name is Hannah and we are here for Flosstube number 4. Alright, so I've been gone a lot longer than I thought I would be. I thought with summer break happening, I would be back really quickly, and obviously that did not happen. I actually am about to go back to school. Summer has gone poof, but I'm very hopeful. I have a lot of cool progress to show you. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you all my progress. I have one finish, which I'm really pumped. That's like the fastest cross stitch finish I've ever had. And then I have one page finish. So I've made a lot of progress, and we'll talk. I'm looking at my laptop over here. Make some talk about the progress I made on my goals. Show you what I got. So as always, if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram as Hannah's Knit Cottage. If you like the knitting things, I'm also on Ravelry as Hannah072. Thank you to everybody new who has subscribed. We've had several new people. Thank you so much for being here. It's really humbling that somebody would want to see my ramblings on the internet. So yeah, grab your favorite drink, grab some stitching or whatever project you want to work on, and let's talk cross stitch. So there is probably going to be a large rustling of bags today because every project bag I have with cross stitch projects is out now. That tells you how much I've done. We're gonna start with my fully finish. Of course it's the bottom bag. Oh no, it's the next to the bottom bag. So I have this in I think they're called Mad for Plaid or Rad Plaid bags from Fat Quarter Shop. I've had this for a long time. So last time I said I had purchased 2 patterns, and one of them I had just started, and I went ahead and I just really enjoyed it. There's still a needle on here, but I finished it. So this is Joy to the World by Prejudice Cottage. And if you see there's a ton of extra fabric, I'm actually going to stitch a second one. But this one is a gift for my secret palette church. And if you don't know what that is, basically all the ladies of the church who want to participate, we do a drawing, and you give your person little gifts throughout the year as a happy, but also the point is to pray for them. And so the gifts are just kind of a reminder if somebody is praying for you. But when I saw this chart, it really made me think of the lady who is my secret pal. I've known her for like my entire life. This is just really her style. So this is from Prejudice Cottage. It's stitched on 14 count vintage country mocha Ada by Swigert. And I got the pattern and the fabric at 123 Stitch. Used the called for DMCs, or like the DMC conversion. I did not use the original threads. Anyway, I loved it. It went super fast, and once I started, I couldn't stop. And then that brings us into our next thing. So I was doing the Iron Chef challenge. Notice I'm saying was. This was supposed to be like the feature piece, like the one for all the Japanese chefs. So Iron Chef is a game show where basically there's 4 Iron Chefs, and each week they have a contestant come and they can challenge one of the Iron Chefs in a head-to-head battle with a secret ingredient and see who is, as the show says, whose cuisine reigns supreme. Well, I just got interrupted. There was a teenager coming around the neighborhood trying to see if he could cut people's lawns. It was really sweet, but now my dog is very dissatisfied that he did not get to go visit the friend. So anyway, so what I was saying, this piece was supposed to be the choice for the Japanese Iron Chef. So if the challenger chose to challenge the Japanese Iron Chef, I was going to pull out this piece. But I finished it before I ever watched the first episode. So I did some tweaking around here. I moved some things around. So we're going to get started and go through each of those. I've done 6 episodes. I'm looking at my laptop. I have it all written out here. I've done 6 episodes so far. There's one piece I'm not going to show today, and I'll explain that when we get there. So first we're going to start with, I'm just going to go by Iron Chef and tell you how many times they were called in the episodes and how many stitches I got them. So the first one we're going to mention is the Italian Iron Chef. I think I'm just going to put a picture here because it's project hard for me to get out. For that one, I'm doing the mini Lighthouse Cottage from Heaven and Earth Designs, and that piece got 61 stitches in the episode's about 42 minutes, I think. So I got 61 stitches, and it will be up here. And that piece is on a 14 count Easy Grid Ada, and I'm using the called for DMCs on that. The second piece is for the Iron Chef French, and I did Pride and Prejudice. And I did not write down how many stitches I got on this one. This one is also an Easy Grid 14 count Ada. But you see, what I decided to do is I had finished all of this. I came down and started doing this sleeve, and then I jumped down and started working on Mr. Darcy and his skin color and his hair. And if you notice, it's not showing up super well, so I kind of left this. I didn't tuck in the tail or anything, so I could pick this out pretty easily if I wanted to. I'm gonna have to play around with and substitute something for this ecru. I think this was a substitution, and it does show up decently, like you can tell something's there. So I don't know. I might go and just do the rest of this and then come back and figure out what to do for the characters. This chart would help if I showed the chart. This was a gift from my mother-in-law for Christmas. It is by Love Poppet. It was a collaboration with the Jane Austen Center. And if you notice, this is on more of like a beige fabric, so the white in Mr. Darcy's shirt shows up and his skin tone kind of blends in. So you can see I jumped down, I think, and I did the white of his shirt, I believe. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the skin tones are going to pop fine because the fabric I have is whiter, but I don't know about the shirt and like the pants and leather. So we'll play around with it and see. It's probably going to end up that I'm going to cross stitch all of this and then circle back and figure out what to do. But I'm enjoying it. It's going well. And this is I don't want to show the chart, but it's a paper chart. So you can, they have it in like a format where all of it is on one page, and they have it in a large format, which I really enjoyed. So this one's going well. It was very enjoyable, and I felt like it was fairly quick to make progress on. Like the chart was clear. It was not confusing. The next is going to be Iron Chef Chinese, and I have done 145 stitches on this. It got called twice. The Pride and Prejudice was only called once. Okay, today is the day of interruptions, apparently. But we're back on our second piece. This is for Iron Chef Chinese. It got pulled out twice. This is the works of Jane Austen. It's by Ikapons, designer on Etsy. This was originally a stitch along, and it goes through all of Jane Austen's books. And if you can see, I'm on the first one, Sense and Sensibility. I am at the bottom. This is an Easy Grid 14 count Ada. I'm finding, this isn't a nerd shoop right now, and I'm finding that I really am enjoying using a Q-snap. I like the tension that Q-snap has a much tighter tension than a nerd shoop. So I have a feeling I'm going to be taking my pieces in and out of hoops more often. The Q-snap too is pretty easy to get lined up. To me, easier than a standard hoop. That's my personal opinion, my preference. But I'm almost done with Sense and Sensibility. It would be really good to get that done because, sorry, thought I had a thread hanging. This piece is 1.5 years old, and eventually the Easy Grid will fade. So I really need to get her moving on before the Easy Grid fades. So we'll see. Hopefully I will get this one out. This is like priority number 2 for me, and I'll show you priority number 1. Because we are on the last piece of the Iron Chef Challenge. So if you're paying attention and you know my cross-stitch projects, you probably can guess which piece became the piece for Iron Chef Japanese. My personal favorite right now, My Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers. This is the chart. I have made some DMC substitutions, which I always put in the description box below. I have another one I've put in since stitching on this. But this is my piece with a page finish. So what happened is it got pulled out twice for Iron Chef stitching. I am not counting stitches because I don't have this digitally, but I just could not put it down. And you see, I mean, look how much this pops. It is just, oh. What I had done is that this color around the tree, it's kind of hard to see there. It blended in with the fabric, so I changed it. But I realized if you look here, this light tan, that's the color that this was supposed to be. Am I gonna go back and change this? No. But when I started to stitch this, I realized how dark that was going to show up, especially in the middle of the reindeer body. So I went ahead and used the original called for, and I really liked it. The only other substitution, I did change out this yellow to be a little bit darker of a yellow, like a brighter yellow, because it was starting to blend in. It was kind of beige on beige. But I mean, look at how much this pops. Like, I am obsessed. So I have a feeling what's going to happen is whenever I cross stitch, I'm going to be working on this. It goes so fast. And I really am thinking if I am monogamous on this, that I think I'll finish it this year. I don't know. I don't want to put that goal on myself because it's very possible not, and maybe it's done early next year. Because I have other crafts and hobbies I like to do besides cross stitching. But look at this. I mean, I've done, I think since the last time I saw you, I finished the word dressing and finished the turkey up. I've done all of woolen sweaters, got the snowflakes, the sweater, Christmas blessing, the reindeer, the moon and the star, and flying reindeer, and the little house. It's just so cute. And then I don't know where I got this needle minder from. That's a little French horn because that is my instrument. I am a music teacher, if you don't know, so that is where my background in music ed comes from, the band side. Anyway, love it, obsessed. This is on 18 count mushroom Lugana using DMCs. Also, and obviously I have an AQ snap, I am loving 18 count mushroom Ada, not Lugana, Ada. I'm loving stitching on 18 count. I think it looks really crisp. I am getting acclimated to it where I really don't need a light to be able to see the holes in the fabric. Obsessed, absolutely obsessed. So I have a feeling I'm going to be stitching on that a lot. And ironically, I feel like I'm going to have more time to stitch now that I'm going back to school, just because this summer has been very busy. There's been a lot of things going on. Had different family things. My husband took 2 weeks off this summer to spend with me. I just celebrated my birthday, so we did some stuff for that. It's been a lot. And then just have some more family things coming up. So yeah, we have several events kind of coming up, and it's going to be busy, but then I think I'm going to have my Saturdays free. I was teaching some sock classes this summer, and those are ending up this week. We're finishing, so I won't be teaching. So I think I'm going to have some more free time like on the weekends, and I think it's going to be a little easier to get some cross stitching done, because normally when I'm doing sock stuff, I'm knitting. I'm not bringing my cross stitch to a sock class, you know. Whereas when I just get to stay home, I can kind of have all my crafts out and just kind of rotate between them and pick them up at the end of the day. Or, you know, like start a little laundry, go do some stitching, move the laundry over, do some more stitching, or, you know. I think I just get a lot more done. But I worked on one more project. And I did not think I was going to work on this one at all. So there was one more piece that was pulled, and it was for, and it wasn't called for, but in the challenge, it was if we had an American Challenger, I would pull out One Nation by Bygone Stitches. That kind of fell through because I did do some Googling, and apparently there's only an American Challenger once in the entire series of the show. So, that doesn't really work. It means it's only going to be called once. And I guess I could still do it. But that's not going to get a lot of progress on this one. But what I did work on One Nation. I just felt like I really wanted to work on it. It just was calling to me. I have misplaced. There's my needle. Let me grab the threads here. So I visited the store Creative Needle Arts last fall. My husband and I went to Gulf Shores, and while I was there, there was a cross stitch store, so of course I had to go. And I found this piece, and when I saw the paper chart, I just kind of knew I wanted to go ahead and get it. It had been on my radar for a while. So this is on I believe this is 18 count. I think this is 18 count as well. It should say that, doesn't it? Yeah, this is 18 count Ada, Old Library Marble by Fabric Flair. And you can see I've started to make some good, oh, this is the proper orientation. So sorry. I've made some good progress here, and I'm loving how it's popping. I feel like all of these colors pop really well on here, and this is all weeks dye work. So this is not the called for, but it was just what when I picked out this fabric, I looked at the called for and I didn't like how it looked. So I picked these out. This is, the blue is Michael's Navy. Again, all weeks dye works. The white is Whitewash. And the red is Liberty. So what my goal is, I've been going across, and there's 50 stars and 50 states. And if you don't know what this piece looks like, there's the 50 stars, and then each stripe has all 50 states in the order that they joined the Union. And I just saw Colette, the highway stitcher, she actually modified the bottom and added some motifs in to say like 250 years, 1776 to 2026. So I might try to do something like that. I don't know. It would be cool to do like 1776, 2026, because this was my piece I started this year for America's 250th. I seriously doubt it's going to be done this year, but it is going to have a special memory stitched into it. So on the 4th of July, we ended up watching the official like U.S. White House fireworks show. We watched the president speak. It was a really interesting speech. It wasn't really political, which I appreciated. There was a lot of old flags from all across the history of America, and he explained the history of each flag. He brought out different veterans and explained their history in combat, and it really was focused on the story of America as far as what our history is, as far as, especially on the 4th of July, appreciating everyone who sacrificed to keep our country, to found our country, to start our country, and to maintain it. So I really appreciated it. It was really cool. So I was cross-stitching on this while looking at all the flags, stitching a flag while looking at the flags, and then watching the fireworks. And so I'll always remember, you know, staying up way too late on the 4th of July. They had a lightning delay. So it ended up starting really, really late. Like I think it was almost midnight our time by the time we went to bed, maybe even after. It was really cool. We watched the fireworks and enjoyed it, and I got to cross-stitch. So, yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm really close. I only have a little bit further over in the blue, and then I'll start hitting the stripes. So what my goal is to do however many, like to rotate days whenever I pull this out. So I've done 2 stars completely. I'm working on a 3rd. So let's say I've finished 3 stars. I think there's 3 states in this first red stripe on the top. So then I would finish those 3 stars, go back in on this side and do the 3 states, because I love cross-stitching words. And then I'll kind of start to see the layout of the piece really taking shape and filling in. I think that's going to be the way to keep me motivated to finish this piece. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And for some reason, like this piece I struggled with so much stitching-wise. When I pulled it out this most recent time, just something clicked. Like it just made sense. The chart worked. I was able to read it better. I don't know. It was enjoyable. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that holds true and I can keep working on this. So I think what's probably going to happen for my plans as we're moving forward, I definitely, as we get into the routine of the school year, want to plan like some weekly time to cross stitch. Or just making sure I have like within the course of a week, like I have a dedicated cross stitch time, because I definitely would hate for all these things to linger so much like they have in the past. And obviously I do enjoy cross stitching with the way I finished that Joy to the World. I think I finished that in like less than a week. It was insane. And I was not done with the school year yet. Like, let's just clarify. I think it was like right as the school year was ending, or maybe like right before it ended, that I finished it. So that was pretty cool. So number 1 priority for me is my Christmas list. There's someone I know who wants to borrow the chart, so I'm going to try and get that finished so I can send the chart off. to them. And then next will definitely be works of Jane Austen, at least to finish that first section and get it into the second section. And then maybe I'll switch and work on One Nation and rotate between works of Jane Austen and One Nation. I think that would be fun. I might do this closer to like October, November time. I probably need to rotate back to Joy to the World and cross stitch the second Joy to the World while that piece is larger and it will be easy to put on a Q-snap. So then when I finish it, I need to give that away at Christmas this year. So I need to go ahead and get the second one cross-stitched before I have to cut my fabric apart and finish it. And it'd be better too, just to be able to finish them both, because I think I want to finish them both the same way. The pattern calls for like a little barn-shaped frame. It's really cute. So if I can find that frame, I'd like to just get 2 of them and then finish them both the same. So yeah, that is my goal. I've been gone for a while. Thank you if you watched to the end. If you don't mind hitting the like button, leave a comment down below, share with a friend, subscribe if you're not. All of those things help. Just help the channel grow. Yeah. I think it's been too long since I've talked. It's a little hard to like get back in the routine a bit, but be on the lookout. I am planning on trying to film more consistently, especially with my Saturdays being freer. I think I can kind of get into more of a routine with filming. So anyway, let me know below what you're working on. If you have a favorite Flosstuber that you like to watch, please comment down below. I always like to look at new people's stuff and I get inspired by like the projects they start. So seeing new patterns, it's always helpful. Let me know your favorite designer. If there's something you're excited for, let me know. And if you have any pro tips on how you rotate through your pieces, let me know. Definitely could use that. Anyway, I'm rambling. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Happy stitching and God bless you. Bye.